Hey everybody, I'm Nick Blair with Bangert Inc. I'm going through the Bangert deployment process for Sage Intacct Construction, and I've run into some questions. So today we have Sarah Tracy from our consulting team here with us, and she's going to help me out with some of them. Welcome, Sarah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being here and
Yeah.
asking some or responding to some of the questions that I have. I've
Yeah,
got a lot.
absolutely.
The first one is turnover, right? So let's say we're 5 years after implementation of Sage Intacct Construction, and one of our controllers leaves, and we have someone new, or maybe one of our clerks who's doing AP or AR leaves the company, and we get someone new in. They don't have that same institutional knowledge. They're not up to date with Sage Intacct. What does Bangert have to offer for that situation?
Yeah, so how we do things at Bangert is we have a learning management system where you go through your deployment by watching videos. That system you'll have access to as long as you're one of our clients. So 5 years down the line, you still have access to those videos. So if you get somebody new on board, all they have to do is go back and watch the videos that pertain to their particular role. So that's never going to expire. They always have access to that, and they can sign up for the classes with us that are specific to their role as well. So it's always there, and it's that system and how we do it is really beneficial for the client because they always do have access for that. So no matter how many new employees they get, whatever their staff turnover, and I hope for them that it's low, but no matter what it is, they have access to that system.
Do you have a sense of what's the largest number of people that we've put through those classes at once for one company?
Sometimes there's clients and we wouldn't even ever have to actually speak with some of their employees. Let's say they might have project managers and they just go through the videos. So on our end, they might never have to speak to us because they just need to know the very basics, and that stuff's all covered in the LMS. So as far as a range of how many employees you're putting through, we really, like, I couldn't even tell you. But I mean, as far as, like, I teach some of the classes, like the AP class and stuff like that, and I could have 10 people on a class for one particular client at a time. And they're just, sitting in a conference room and they're all just learning how to do those transactions through that. And then they go and they play in the system themselves and they figure it out. So they might come back with more questions, but that's totally fine.
Thank you. Next question I have for you is Bangert's approach seems to aim at self-sufficiency. And this is kind of along the lines of the last question, but Bangert's approach aims at self-sufficiency for our clients so that they actually don't need us for every little thing, and we don't have to charge billable hours for every little question that they have. Can you speak to that new way of doing things that Bangert has and the advantages that you've seen from the consulting side?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing for me when I started with Bangert was that they really wanted customer satisfaction. That was their main thing. So they didn't want to be getting a client on board and doing everything for them, and then the client had absolutely no idea how to use the system, or if something happened down the line where they did have to reconfigure something, they didn't even know where to go to get it. So that's absolutely what we're not about. We go through your configuration with you, show you this is what this does, and if you need to change it, this is how you do it. But it's set up the way it's set up, but things always change. You know what I mean? And down the line, you might get bigger and XYZ, you might need to go back and change things. So giving people the ability to make those changes themselves empowers them a lot and gives, I think it's massive for them. It's a huge draw for Bangert, and it's a huge reason of why I'm with the company as well, because they really are, about 100% client happiness. So that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So have you seen that actually translate to those results as you're working with client? Like, we talk about client happiness. Are you seeing that clients are indeed happier?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, we have our Q&As and stuff where we have clients come on and it's friendly. Like, we get along with our clients. Like, I like them, and I think that they enjoy our time as well. And it's not like they're reaching out and they're saying, this needs to be done. They're kind of asking us like, how do I do this, rather than, just get this done for me or whatever. And then the beauty of it is as well, if they have to create a report or something like that, they know how to just do it themselves. Obviously, the support is there if they need it. All they have to do is reach out. But they have now got the knowledge to do that themselves. At least attempt to anyway. So yeah, definitely. I see like our interactions with clients, like 99% are positive. So that's always nice.
I suppose that makes your job more enjoyable as well.
100%, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
I love it. So you just mentioned the Q&As and you mentioned the LMS earlier. So our videos that we have online and our system that we've built out that takes you through step by step, the deployment process that I'm going through. We also have enablement, which comes before deployment, and we have refinement, which comes after deployment, and helps you with report writing and some of the more advanced topics. Our other avenues for support are Q&A sessions that happen daily and live classes that happen. And of course, you can always do the traditional ticket submission, right? But when I was first going through deployment, I was thinking, man, I'm going to have to go into these classes with people that I don't know and other companies, and I'm going to go into these live Q&As, and who else is going to be there? So can you speak to the benefits for the client when it comes to those Q&A sessions and those live classes?
Yeah, absolutely. So you'd be surprised how much clients can learn from other clients. So there might be a Q&A where we'd have 4 people on, and they might hear something that another client's doing, and they're like, oh my God, I never thought of that. And I should be doing that too, or something like that. You know what I mean? And, the Q&As, the way that they're structured is, you come on, you ask your questions, you'll share your screen and we'll kind of talk through things. But if you're not comfortable with doing that, that's totally fine. We have the option to do like breakout rooms. So it's a one-to-one then if that's something that you're just not happy with other people looking at what you're doing, which is totally fine. There are definitely clients that don't like that. But it's like Q&As are informative and conversational as well. Like clients will speak to each other and things like that. So definitely I have seen that happen a lot of times where clients will learn from other clients, and that's amazing to see. And then the classes that we do, sometimes there are more than one client on a class. Same deal where they're getting ideas from the other client. It's something that they may not necessarily have even thought of. And then we do have the option to do on-demand classes. So if you're more comfortable with doing that, and then obviously, it's at your own pace, you're not waiting for us our schedule is not impeding you at all, because you can just do it on demand. And then afterwards, if you have any questions, you can always just hop on a Q&A or submit a ticket. And then, if you've exhausted all of the avenues, there are, of course, one-to-one calls that we can do with clients. And, it's not like we're not doing them. We definitely do them all the time. So if the need arises for it, that's definitely an option.
I want to put you on the spot a little bit more than I already have.
Okay.
And ask, do you have any examples of a situation where you've seen one client learn from another client? Do you have a specific example there?
Oh, like a small one would be like a stupid thing where on a check, there's like a signature line on the check. And one client was like, how do I get rid of this? And another client was like, I never even knew I could get rid of that. Because there's one in the system, and then they had one on their own check. So they were like, I never even thought of it. But yeah, that annoys me. And that's great that I can get rid of this. So that's just one small one. But yeah, it has happened several times where that has happened. So
that's great. That's a perfect example. Yeah. And I would think that, there's probably a lot of productivity or productive conversations that happen in those spaces because they're the ones in there using them every single day. Yeah. And they run into all those situations and those scenarios that we don't necessarily run into as consulting services.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.